to make, or in your growth, or even just having other teachers use what you've made, or get involved. So go ahead and drop it in so we have it, and feel free to share your screen, or I can share your screen. But does anyone want to go first and dive in and share their project a bit, and how folks can get involved?
I can jump in.
Yeah, awesome, Dan. Let us know. What do you got? What can we go to a site, or is there?
Yeah, I'll throw that in.
Sweet.
So, and then I'll share my screen. So my project took on many different turns, and I'll try not to ramble, but essentially, it was kind of this larger project on how to bring more authentic learning into schools. And so I had this big grand idea around digital badging and being able to do flexible furniture and culture and all these different things. And it was a lot, but one thing that came out of it that was really strong, the others are kind of like in development, but Badge You was just kind of, many of you saw it like when we were at the Academy last year. It was just kind of this like Google Sheet formula that I had written. And I spent a lot of time working with Jordan Ray, and he's not on, he's probably sleeping or something, but he really helped me kind of build out some of these things. And so now it's actually a full-fledged extension that you can download as a Google Sheets add-on. And it has about 515 weekly users. And so basically, it's just a total digital badging program that just allows teachers to capture all the things that happen in school that are important, that don't necessarily get scores or get captured by assessments and things like that. So empathy and social justice and wonder and creativity, just even art and things like that. So the website has like very detailed steps and processes for setting it up, and just some beta projects. So a leaderboard we're working on. And then it's interesting to see kind of where it like took off. So obviously it's been working in my school. And so here's an example of like badging happening in the school. So the kids use codes and can get badges, and teachers are making badges, and then they're providing evidence. So you can see kids getting like Duolingo badges and guitar level 1 badges for music, or doing their portfolios or using Canva and stuff like that. And it's really exciting, and they get super into it because we have a leaderboard, so it kind of ranks kids. So they're always, you know, fighting each other to get more badges, and it's just been really exciting. And then my friend Daryl, we've become friends, he actually took it and has been using it for teacher PD out in Arkansas. And so it was kind of funny because I think their school board literally had a conversation about, should we use, I think it's Credly is one of the badge systems, and or should we use Badge You? And they decided to use Badge You, which is totally, I think, really funny. But they ended up, so like he's been doing PD with them, and he's been doing a lot of breakout PD. And so teachers have been earning their breakout EDU badges, which has been really fun. And so we're kind of working on some additional programs to make it more streamlined. And so I've just gotten lots of great feedback and lots of great support. And yeah, it's just been so fun to kind of see it kind of come into fruition.
Oh, that's so awesome. You beat Credly.
Yay.
Oh, this looks really wonderful. Anybody have feedback, reactions, questions for Dan? That's really exciting. Thanks for sharing, man. I'll leave the table open for a few minutes for Dan.
Hey,
Don't
dude.
be shy.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Good, long time no see.
I know. It was awesome. I immediately downloaded your tutorial as soon as we left the academy, and it really worked. I tried a little bit on it with my PE kids and stuff, and it started like taking off right away. All I want to do is tell you how awesome it is, and how awesome it is to see that it's like blown up, because it deserves to be blown up. And I'm glad that people are taking advantage of this, because you're right. there's a lot of little things that we just don't see, we miss out on as educators. We just kind of go for the big goals sometimes, and that's what we reward. But it's really cool to see that you have a platform for the little things. And if educators are focusing on those little things, I think our students as well will benefit from the little things, and they'll build up through those and reach the big milestones, right?
Yeah, it's cool, man. Thanks, I appreciate
so
that.
Just want to give you a big shout out. Awesome, bro.
Cool, thanks, man.
My project was building a professional development platform, and I had a fourth grade teacher reach out to me and wanted to do something similar in his classroom. And so we ended up using Badge U, and he's been
awesome.
working on building it this summer to use with his students, which is really cool.
So that reminds me too, Amanda, I'm working on a Facebook group because I want to have like kind of bring the community together a little bit. And I know Facebook group sounds totally lame, but after you've watched the breakout Facebook group grow so big, I think it's a really cool way to connect. But that's awesome.
That's a great next step, Dan. If anyone else is thinking about next steps, if they are in a stage where they want to grow their project, share any other tips about growing community and helping take all those downloads and turning them into some energy, for sure. That's really cool. Any tips about making an extension or site or getting folks getting the word out that you found out, Dan? Or did it happen organically, or any tips for anyone else who might be at that stage with their project?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, how was I trying to explain this to someone the other day? I think we're all educators, and we all work in schools or districts and stuff. And so I think just with any project that you're doing, like, make it authentic, right? Like, make it something that you're actually going to use and you're going to invest time in and develop. And if the furthest that it's get is just the walls of your school and it's successful, great, whatever. But if you put that time and energy and effort into it and it works really great in your school, it'll just naturally grow past and through that and stuff. But I think just getting this group that we have is amazing and connected. And it was funny, I'm working with someone from the London cohort, and he's doing a lot of stuff with code and Google Sheets and stuff like that. And like within minutes, Jordan's connected, and we're connected to a Google engineer who works on Google Sheets. I mean, it's just like the net will just share and throw it out there and be like, hey, I tried this today. I think Dee's not on here, but Dee's been doing a lot of that, where you just will hit you up with a message and be like, hey, test this out, and you have your kids try it. And so I think just continuing to use the group to share and push that outside.
Yay, we're all ready to join your Facebook group as soon as you make it. We're ready. That's awesome. Thanks so much, Dan. Bad you.
Thank you.
Cool. I've got Shalana's in here too. Shalana, I want to share a little bit about yours and share. Yeah.
Just gonna try to share my screen. Let me just see. Okay, no, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work sharing my screen, I think, with my internet connection in India. But basically, I built a website with just a whole lot of game strategies that I've been using in my classroom. I ended up building about 5 different little games that I used, and getting some games in from some other South African teachers as well. So just going to work on getting teachers to send in games that can be repeated by the teachers, and just sort of build up a little bit of a hub for people to use. So that's been a really fun process. And my kids have absolutely loved it. Like, a lot of their skills have improved through the games, and just the dynamics in the classroom have totally changed. So I've loved seeing that as well.
Oh, that looks great. Thanks, Shalana. We could hear you totally fine. So your connection's still making it. I'll leave the floor open for a second if anyone has thoughts or reactions or questions for Shalana. It looks awesome.
Shalana, what do you think was like your kind of, I don't know, maybe most challenging but most exciting part of your project?
I think sometimes just the time it takes to build the games are quite challenging. And it's really strange. I studied design and art, but I still sometimes find it hard to just format things really simply. So working with other teachers on layout really helped to just cement like how do you actually set up a standard layout for something, which makes it easier for people to use. So I think user design is really an interesting field now, and just finding the best and simplest resources for people to interact with. So that's something I think I'd like to refine constantly. It's been really interesting though, because a lot of the thought processes that has gone into making better digital resources for my classroom and thinking about how kids interact with content, which is all sort of part of a game design. Um, that whole thinking process has really helped in this new job that I've just gone into. It's called a business process analyst, and it's not something I've ever done before, but just the thinking and the design thinking and the innovation and everything that sort of people have been doing with education have just set up all these incredible opportunities, and that's just been exciting. It's kind of going, which opportunity do I choose and how does it all work out? Like, because there is like, just when you start just unpacking what technology and education is doing, it's absolutely incredible. And there's just thousands of amazing things to do. So it's just choosing the right ones.
I love it. That's so cool. What an awesome journey.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And I think being part of this community just, it sort of gives you a stamp of approval, and that just opens other doors. And that's been incredible to see for myself and for everyone in this group, just the opportunities that have opened for each of us. So really a big shout out to the Google program to say thank you for just opening doors for us in so many amazing fields.
And look at Cake Boss. I want to play Cake Boss right now. Like I'm already getting cool ideas.
Yeah, I have a big thing that we should at least eat a lot more in classrooms. Eating together creates family, and so I try and set up ways for my kids to cook and create things, and they just go crazy. They think it's like the best lesson in the world.
Right? Even just eating lunch for giving yourselves an hour for lunch, we're seeing is so important. So that's
Yeah.
fun. What's your plan for getting more games? Are you going to keep adding them on? Like I'm already bookmarking this so that I can come back to learn about boss.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely. I've got a few teachers who sort of sent me games in discussion, and I have a whole lot, one or two other games that I haven't actually put on. So I think I'll just sort of maybe schedule some time, and once I've settled it down, we just also just move cities, and then just encourage teachers to actually share their content. Some of the teachers I've been chatting to are sort of fine. I got the one teacher to spontaneously jump in with me in a summer session and present, and that was really awesome. And he just did like a phenomenal job. And I was like, send me your stuff, I'll add it to the website. And I think it's that next step of actually putting yourself out there and putting a permanent link up. So just to encourage more teachers to do that. It takes quite a lot of courage to take that next step, so that hopefully we can sort of use our own platforms to promote others and open new doors for them as well.
Awesome, Shalana. Cool. Let's keep looking. Thanks for sharing that. Looks like we have Brooke. Brooke, let's look at Shattered Glass. You want to pull that up and tell us a little bit about how Shattered Glass is in the last few months, how it went, and anything maybe you learned from it or that you're excited about?
Hang on. Sorry, it is storming here, so my connection is really bad. Am I good? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, totally. We see you.
Okay. All right, super. Well, I just linked up. I just dumped that in the chat, the link to my slideshow. So my project was kind of twofold. I started with and there's videos and stuff in here too. I won't play that, but National Center for Women in Information Technology has a really cool initiative called Sit With Me that has been, I think they started it a couple of years ago. I just discovered it when I started this whole innovator project, which sort of actually it evolved into this project centered around women in STEM. When I started teaching the programming class, we just decided to create a programming class just for girls at our early college and career center. And so I found this initiative called Sit With Me. And so I wrote a grant to a local organization in my community called Hills Together to get some funding. And I got about $5,000. And that initiatives is literally, it exists in our community to support any kind of initiatives to promote women in leadership. So the first thing that I did with my project was I actually created an event, and I invited everybody in our community who was involved in IT in any way, whether they employed, IT people in their business, or maybe they were lawmakers. I mean, we invited so many people in our community, and it was a luncheon that we hosted, and the students in our programming pathway actually sort of hosted that, and they showed projects they had been working on. After that, we started to really get a lot of momentum with just this whole like women in IT sort of movement. And our local newspaper wrote an editorial about that. And at that event, I was able to launch our Shattered Glass Summit. And so statistics show us that that girls' interest in STEM peaks at the age or grade levels around 4th to 6th grade. And so that was the age that we wanted to target, because by the time they reach 14, 15 years old, it drastically reduces and never recovers. And so we have a lot of initiatives in my district that sort of, promote their interest in STEM in middle school. But by the time they get to high school, they're kind of done, and we see a drastic dip in enrollment in IT. So we wanted to start with that 4th to 6th grade age range. And we wanted to get them hooked so that they would want to be involved in middle school, and then hopefully that would catapult them into potential career opportunities and studying programming in general. So basically, the Shattered Glass Summit, I opened this up at our Sit With Me luncheon that we had. And I opened it up for 75 kids. And we had our local radio station share our registration form on their Facebook page. And we capped out registration in like 36 hours. And so I hopped on my Google form real quick, and I made a wait list, and we had over 70 on a wait list by the time that the event was actually starting. So, that my testament to everyone is that, there isn't a gender gap in computer science because of a lack of interest. It's because of a lack of opportunity. And so this right here on the link on, let's see, what slide is it? Slide 9. Will take you to the website that I built, which this is kind of where we were pushing out our volunteers and community. And we were trying to, a lot of people were like, okay, what is this that you're doing? So we kind of had to, from a PR perspective, try to have a platform that we could sort of share. So anyway, it was absolutely amazing. So I themed the event. I'm talking and like trying to pull up stuff at the same time, but I think I have a Google photo album actually that was linked on that gallery page from our event, which is super cool. You should definitely look at it. Let's see. I think that'll take it. There we go. So anyway, I wanted to be very intentional with the way that I designed the event, and I wanted to make it feel different and look different. And so the first thing I did was created different teams, and I looked up leaders in the tech industry. So we have Rosina. She is she's a leader in, let's see, robotics. We have Helen. She's the iRobot lady. We have Bernadette Carter. She's a lead engineer for Google Plus. Obviously, Sheryl Sandberg, who is my jam. So anyway, we put the girls into teams based on ages. And so everything we did was for the whole 2 days was centered around these ladies. They all had badges for their teams. And so we really just tried to build community and empower them. We wanted it to be fun. They went to different sessions. All of the sessions that they went to were focused on some kind of computer science. We had 2 ladies. We are very blessed to be so close to Fort Knox, and we have so many tech leaders right there on Fort Knox. And we had 2 who were, one was an IT manager and one worked in HR recruiting. And they actually came and led kind of like women empowerment sessions, like what it's like to be a female in IT and like, you know, shattering glass ceilings. And it was just really, really cool. And so the girls, we created micro credentials for the girls that they earned at each of the sessions. So they had a little badge card. I don't know if I've got any, surely there's pictures somewhere in here of that. I mean, it was just like, it was honest to goodness. The 2 most favorite days of my career were the summit. And so moving forward, the parents and the kids in the community are like, okay, what's next? When's the next one? So, and I've actually had 2 companies contact me to, I feel like I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I just get really excited. I had 2 companies contact me wanting, to give us money, which is super cool. So I'm in the process of trying to write a grant to get some more funding to do some yearly events, like a fall event, a spring event. And what I'd like to do really is just package up this whole model and be able to give it to other people who want to do it and sort of, you know, follow along or, you know, take one and start one in their state. I haven't gotten that far yet. I really feel like my focus right now, because we do have so much momentum and the kids are so excited. And listen, look, I don't know if you can see, I have my shirt on because we branded the heck out of this stuff. So the kids got tattoos and shirts and sunglasses and zip bags. I mean, like everywhere. So, you know, I wanted this to be out there in our community. I wanted people asking about it. I wanted them to be aware. So anyway, my goal moving forward is to get some funding. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we talked to Sphero at ISTE, and Sphero is going to kind of partner with us and do, you know, some, hopefully, they've offered to give us a coupon code for Shattered Glass attendees to buy Spheros, and I'm working on Parrot to get some stuff with Parrot. I don't know, fingers crossed. Will they see this video? But anyway, I want to do a fall event and a spring event, and then probably, you know, try to create something that is scalable. So I'll shut up now. Sorry.
Oh, that's so awesome, Brett. Look at all the love in the chat for sure. That's super inspiring, and we all want it to be in the fall and do anything we can to help it. But that's so great that you got the initial funding, and that can be so important because tattoos matter and zip bags matter.
They do. They do. And we have a local, they kind of manage all of like the nonprofit funding, the Central Kentucky Community Foundation. And I have met with her several times, and she's been, you know, this is like, I'm a teacher. I don't know how to run a business, you know what I mean? Or not that this is a business, but just from the perspective of, okay, well, what would happen, you know, because we had about, I don't know, 10, I think, no-shows. And it's like, how do we, you know, that was 75 spots. We only had 65 show up. You know what I mean? Like, how do we decrease that no-show and like just kind of logistical kind of things she's been working with me on, because that's a new world for me. So there's a lot of growth in that in terms of just pulling off the event. But anyway, we've got a lot of support and momentum. I just want it to grow. I want it to be something that is, you know, scalable. So.
Anybody have ideas about scaling or funding to share with Brooke, or just love to pass around? I'll leave it open for a sec.
Sorry, I talked too long.
Brooke, I have to say, watching you from just north of where you're at, it's amazing to watch you work, what you've done with your staff, getting them certified. that could be another thing that's scalable and modeled across everywhere. It's been pretty cool to follow along. Glad you're in my cohort.
Oh, love.
Brooke, your little GIF is awesome. Where did you get that? How did you make it?
Well, I have this really talented friend. His name is James Allen. He is the first one listed on my slide on my team, so he has been instrumental in the just graphic design piece of all of it. I sketched my Power Girl on my iPad, and he kind of put it into Illustrator, and so I've got a good support system. He's pretty incredible. But I should have probably not said that on a live YouTube. Then everybody's gonna be like, "Make me one too."
I'm already emailing him.
Yeah. He made it in Camtasia though, Dan, I think. So.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he's on the YouTube channel too. So shout out, James.
Woo woo.
Those Kentucky folks, man, they make them good, make them right. Oh, I love it, Brooke. Well, we can't wait to see and help support. So keep everyone in the loop. And anytime you have any sort of crowdfunding or sourcing or anything like that, let us know. Or throw your grant out to the whole group and let us help, or share ideas about great places to get funding. But that sounds awesome. Yay. Cool. I think we have Amanda shared. I'm looking to publish this platform for other districts. If anyone wants to work on platform work, Amanda, did you want to share a little bit about this guy?
I think Amanda had to leave.
I know. I'm super bummed because I really wanted to hear about what she's done. Does anybody know much about it? Like, this is the first that I have seen this, but this is exactly kind of the direction I want to go with my school district this year. I'm bummed she's not here. I want to learn about this.
Well, we'll have to check it out and support her, but she looks like she's looking for collabo, so we'll have to ping her. But I'm glad we got to hear about her busy summer. It sounds like a busy year. Cool. Stephanie or Melissa or Desiree, did you guys, if you don't have a link to share, did you guys have any updates or fun wins or celebrations about your projects?
All right. I had a really fun win with my Google Parent, which I've shared out before, so you guys are probably sick of hearing about that by now. But kind of a cool thing that happened within my school is that my students actually, as I was going through and like I was working on these sometimes when my students were working on projects, and I realized that I had never actually really taught my juniors and seniors how to use Google Calendar and how it interacted with their Google Classroom, and that all of their assignments were actually there. Like they didn't always have to go into Classroom to see it. And so after having that conversation, we had this kind of cool thing that happened with our student planner. We decided that we wanted to ask the students for input on the student planner. And so they actually made a survey, and I will have to switch to share my screen. Can I share the whole thing? I don't want the whole thing. Okay. So I had a student who shared. Is it up there? Can you guys see it?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, because all I see is the light bulb up there. So, okay. We've got, I'm trying to share my whole screen, but I don't know if you're seeing everything in here. Can you see my planner form that's up there?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay. Okay, I will stop asking those questions now. Just kind of got to get used to that part. So I actually had a student, as part of his final project, worked on trying to figure out how the planner could be more usable for students. And so he actually, his idea, warm fuzzy moment, he created a Google form to poll the students on what the best design for the planner would be. And so our school has has a rolling block schedule. So the students have 4 classes in the fall and then switch a semester and have 4 new classes in the spring, kind of like college. But then within that, we had A days, B days, C days, and D days. So you never have that same class at the beginning of the day, never have that same class at the end of the day type of thing. I love it, but it's kind of confusing for the kids when it comes to how all that works. Anyways, neither here nor there. So he designed kind of 2 different ways of how it can look in the planner. So that way they know if it's A, C day, D-Day, all that good stuff, kind of 2 different options, and had the students vote for it. We have 600 students in our school, and he decided that he wanted to ask he wanted to talk to the freshmen and sophomores because they were most likely to use, actually use the planner. And so if you can see, we had 103 responses. I think there's 3 staff members in there, so we probably really had, because I want to put my vote in because I'm your teacher, so I get to put my vote in. But we had, out of 600 kids, we had 100 actually put it in, and that's really just talking to half of the student body. So really out of 300 kids that he talked to, but it was just kind of this really cool project that came from this idea of, how are we teaching our students how to use these tools? And I didn't suggest, hey, use a form, and it wasn't, here's how you do a form. It's just that he kind of went with it. And then so we actually are going to print tomorrow on our plan. And so the design that the students voted for had 60% of the votes, so that's the one that won. I wish it was more of a landslide, but it wasn't. And so they also decided that we should link in this digital and analog together with our paper planner. So there's a QR code at the bottom of each of the pages that will take them to calendar.google.com, which will prompt them to open their app on their phones or just take them to the browser-based. So that way the students can see what's already there on their planner. And since our school is using a Google Calendar for athletics and all the other school events, if they have those added, then they will be able to see it. So we just have some information down at the bottom about how to do that. So it's kind of this, one of the things that I didn't really think would happen there is I really didn't think that it would end up being this analog versus digital and me be working on a planner together. But that was kind of a cool thing that came out of it, that I thought that it would kind of scale more outside of my building, and really it kind of scaled within my building. So that was kind of a cool thing. I think there's some people that hate that we kind of took over this planner project, but I don't know. I'm really excited to see how it works with the students, and how it makes us more conscious teacher-wise of, hey, the students can see this, so maybe we'll get more teachers using Google Classroom and kind of utilizing the tools that they need to. So that's my little brag moment on my kind of what happened with my project after the initial part.
Oh, how fun. That's the serendipity is kind of cool, of just going with that and seeing what sticks and what grows out of that. That's really awesome. Any thoughts or questions or ideas for Stephanie? And then we'll hear Desiree and Melissa, and we'll head out.
I think it's really cool, Stephanie. I love how excited you are, but I also love how you're like, not everyone likes that. And I always feel like when you hit that, not everyone likes it, you're probably doing something right because it's uncomfortable. So yay that not everyone likes it. I think that's great.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I think probably I don't want to say I hope all of us have run into this year, but I know that I ran into more than one of it. And I'm strangely okay. I'm becoming more okay with that, which is good.
Good. We can have a support group later.
Isn't that what this is?
Yeah, I love how your students started to create solutions. I think that's really exciting when kids start taking what you're doing and just start expanding on that skill set. And I think that's going to be sort of a marker of innovation happening and really transforming something and getting kids excited about IT. It just sort of radically changes everything. So well done for that. Just creating a space for a new kid to grow.
Yeah, it was really cool the day that the student was like, well, what if we put a QR code so it would take them to their calendar to put their assignment in there? And then they went and tried it, and they realized it was already in there because it was on their Google Calendar. So it was like, why didn't I know this before? It was really cool. And then I felt like I had a failure moment because I hadn't reinforced that. But it was cool to find that.
That's awesome.
Yay. Thanks, Stephanie, and thanks for the feedback, everyone.
Before I give up the floor, my puppy wants to say hi. He's my 5-month-old chocolate lab. I think he made a cameo.
It's huge.
So cute.
That's a bit of 40 pounds now, so he's not going to be going to school with me much longer. But yeah.
Oh.
That's Sailor. He's blind in one eye, and he's an innovator too.
Innovator pup. Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Stephanie, can we do some wine tastings online though? I missed those.
Oh, yeah. We'll have to chat about that.
Yeah, can you just do a YouTube live and try a new one with us, and then we can all like order it like a Stephanie Wine of the Month Club, and we'll
Oh my gosh, yes! Like, tell us to pre-order the wine, and then it'll be amazing if we all tasted it at the same time on a hangout.
We could do that. That's the next. I think you need to leave the planner behind and work on this.
Yeah, that'll be the next project for sure. We'll just have to make sure that doesn't go out live to everybody. That'll be a private one for sure.
Wine live. Awesome. Cool. Well, let's hear really quick, Desiree and Melissa. I saw create accessibility for Melissa. I know some people might have to head out. We're at the hour, but Desiree, did you want to give us a quick version of your site? I see educatoralexander.com up there.
Sure, I'll be super quick. My project was all about teacher professional development. So I created Educator Alexander, which became my business, and I am loving every minute of it. It really is growing every day, which is super cool. The main things I deal with are technology and educational leadership. So I do a lot with the SLLA test and test prep and things like that. So it's been growing. It's been growing in other states too, which I'm very, very thankful for. And I do have a part on my website to kind of promote other people's and things that they really want to promote. So it's called Playground. So I have a couple of my innovators on here. Yay. If it comes up, my computer's really slow right now. So I have so if you want to put your stuff on here, just let me know. If you have that passion product, your idea can be right here. But I started a blog, which was brand new for me. I never really considered doing a blog, but I read an article from Jenny, and she inspired me. So I have a little blog. I blog it. I try to do it once a week, but it never happens. So probably like once every 2 weeks. But I'm very, very excited about it. And now I'm starting to do more webinars by myself. Like instead of going to a company or a company asking me to do a webinar, I'm actually doing them, like this is my first one that I'm doing from my company. Like I'm not sponsored by anybody. No one's asking me to do it. I'm just doing it. So I'm very excited. It may seem like something really small, but I'm very excited about it. And I'm also going to do some test preps for myself. So I'm just excited to kind of be branching out a little bit more. And that's about it. Just not to take too much time.
Oh, congrats. That's a huge accomplishment. And look at your Adobe Connect URL too. Look at you go. That's awesome. Yay. Cool. Any other thoughts or plus ones or ideas for Desiree? But put your blog in the chat and we'll spread the word for you. That's really awesome. That writing and blogging is can be tough. If anyone else has ideas about continuing to blog and keeping up frequency, throw it in the chat for Desiree. But that's an awesome goal for sure. Awesome. Melissa, did you have any final words about create accessibility? I know one of the sweetest comments of the night was you changed someone's teaching practice.
Yeah, that's wonderful, Shalana. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I can share, I'll show you kind of what I've created here so far. Here is the, I think it's showing. Is it showing?
Yep, looks good. Got it.
Okay. So this is a blog with a bunch of different blog posts regarding some of the work that I've done over the past year. The focus still remains around closed captioning for obvious reasons, but also around other accessible design features that teachers and student creators can do around Google products. Closed captioning is easiest in YouTube, so I have a page on all different ways that you can close caption your content within YouTube, along with tutorials and whatnot. Knowing that many schools have YouTube blocked, I worked with Jordan, who's amazing, and by working with Jordan, that means he did all the work with my idea to create a caption creator for Google Drive. And so for schools where YouTube may be blocked, and I'm in a district that's like that. This is a neat little script that he made that creates a YouTube-like interface where you can pull a video that's stored in your drive and type out a transcript that then can be uploaded to and caption that video that's housed in Drive. And also have a Google site with a bunch of different resources along with captioning. Had a little daily create accessibility challenge in April. And then what else do I have? Also kind of created a Git book on create accessibility, and I'm still adding to many of these things, but it has, you know, besides the captioning resources, has things on like how to create accessibility within Google Docs and different things to keep in mind around, you know, if you're using Google Docs or slides and other things. So the future for create accessibility is continue to keep this up to date. And I'm starting with our district creating a YouTube web series for 17-18 around how to create accessibility and meet WCAG guidelines for Section 508 compliance. And so working, creating short tutorials around YouTube for teachers and staff and things that they can do in their environment to ensure that their digital products are accessible to a wider audience. So that's about it.
Oh, that's all so exciting and so awesome that the collaboration and how easy it is to use and